Field of Ability Podcast Network. My name is Emily Gilmer and am a podcast engineer here. I'm excited to bring you another episode of Mastery of Connections with our very own Alan Holmes, or MC Holmes, or Master Connector, as we affectionately call him. I do this show every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific. All about networking, making connections, meeting people, and so on. So, just with nothing further to do, I'll bring in Alan to kick us off. So, welcome, Alan.
Yes, good. Yeah, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, maybe. This is Alan Holmes, Master Connector, also known as MC Holmes. Normally, we have one guest. Just want to throw it out there. However, today is very. Every once in a while, there's a special situation comes up. We have Andy Funkhauser with your Better Source Solutions. He's a consultant. We have another guest, Jose. He'll be in just a few minutes with a very unique research. But we're going to bring out Mr. Andy first because Andy I met on a very unique platform. It's called Alignable. And Andy, welcome to the Massive Connections. Thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit about who you are, your Better Solutions as business owners and consultants and the resources that you help with. Tell us a little bit who you are, how did you get started, and yeah, a little bit of the mastery of connections. That's what we do here, provide resources that bring value. And you are valuable, sir.
Alan, hey, thanks. A real pleasure to be here. Good morning, all. Good morning, viewers, wherever you're listening or watching from. My name is Andy Frankhauser. I'm the CEO, steward, founder of Aqua Luxury Consulting. What we do here is, well, let me put it this way. Alan, you're a business owner, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, ever had problems with your business?
Oh, well, kind of having a little one now right now. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Ever had one of those moments where you're like, holy cow, what am I getting into? Or I probably should have made that decision, or wow, I probably could have used better resources and gotten a better ROI on this, that, or the other effort. Ever had those
Correct.
moments?
Oh, yeah.
Right. So essentially, what I do is I help consult you when you run into one of those moments so you don't go wasting time, energy, resources for either a bad ROI or a very poor ROI, right? Either way. So essentially, my background here, Alan, to give you a little bit, I just finished, if you will, 10 years of corporate America, right? Which I think maybe some of you viewers would share the same sentiment. Mine was in financing, banking, personal advisement, things of that nature. I was in it during the 08, 09, 10 mortgage crisis when the world stopped spinning the first time. I don't know if some of your viewers might remember that experience, especially if you were a homeowner during that point in time. And then more recently here during COVID, which I don't need to tell you was a really rocky time to say the least for everybody. Whether you made 8 million a year or $8 an hour, you were affected across the board, right?
Yes, sir.
And I don't think any of us were really prepared. I had my third child, second son, born 2 weeks before it hit us here in Southern California. Very blessed to have three kids and a beautiful wife.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. But going from what my wife and I had planned to be a very peaceful transition into having three kids, paternity, maternity leave, turned into anything but that, right? So now, with the schools at that time shutting down, I had a pre-kindergartner, my daughter at home, and my first grade son at home, and my newly born son at home. And I was trying to figure out if I had a career, right? COVID did that to a lot of people. Luckily, the bank I worked at the time allowed us to keep our jobs, and I did go back to do what I could for the community that I served, for the clients that I served, the business owners, the individuals. because unfortunately during times of uncertainty, which COVID clearly was, people turn to the banks for reassurance, for financial help, and so on. Well, not to brush over the enormity that was COVID, but a lot of people had questions of what was going to happen, what was going to be their money situation, what was going to happen to their businesses, their jobs, their careers. I think a number of your viewers and listeners here are probably nodding their head saying, yeah, hey, I lost my job. I lost my business. My company went under. I got furloughed. Disney furloughed how many people out of all their resorts just because they're such a people-centric business, they couldn't operate. Nobody could, right? So during that time, as I sat down with individual business owners day after day, turning to me, Andy, I'm $1,000 short. I'm $600 short of rent for my business, and it's been my family for 50 years. I'm the second generation owner, third generation owner. What am I supposed to do? And we all remember the PPP programs that the government kicked out. That's my own personal opinions on that for another day. But there really wasn't anything I could do as a banker that people turned to me to help them out with. Right? There was no advice to really give as a banker, so I had to put on my Dr. Phil hat, right, and say, hey, I feel you. I feel what you're saying. I sympathize with you. I wish there was something I could do to help, but I'm tied by the rules, regulations, policies, and procedures of where I work. And here's the website for the PPP. Good luck. I wish you all the best, and that's it. And that was it. There was literally nothing we could do other than just be a comforting shoulder for them to vent on, right? So fast forward here now, as I'm on the other side of that, I've embraced my mission in life. As they say, a man is born twice. First when he's born physically, and then again when he or she figures out what the meaning of their life is. Right? I found mine. I've done both. Right? That second born moment, Alan, is perceptionally mind blowing, right? Like you wake up, you're up at 2 a.m, jotting down ideas. Like you're not restricted to the 9 to 5 mentality, all due respect, but your entire soul is on fire towards this goal of what it is. So my mission here, as I've accumulated all that experience and all those skills and tools and networking and people skills, whatever you want to call it, I have accumulated all that into being able to consult people through some of those harder times in life, especially when it comes to business, right? Because I was there. I was there at the front line. I was given, Alan, I was given a letter by the U.S. government during COVID that allowed me to travel from my home to my place of work, the bank, because I was an integrated part of the national economic backbone, wherever the wording was. I saved it. I have it somewhere up in my room, and I saved it because I knew I'd want this at some point. And that was all fine and good, but again, I couldn't help people the way I wanted to, right? The way that they were crying out for. There just wasn't anything I can do. So again, here I am in a position untethered to corporate America and say, hey, remember the crisis that we just went through a couple of years ago? How nobody was prepared for it? What's that next crisis for you? What's that next hurdle, next mountain that you're going to be running into that, hey, I just don't know how to get through it, how to get over it, how to get under it. I pray, I don't have the resources to hire a major consultant firm. I'm trying to bootstrap my way through this. ChatGPT is my new best business friend. I've read books, whatever. Like it's all one dimensional. You know what I'm saying? So, excuse me, a little water here. So, as the new business owner, and maybe more specifically, as someone who might have been laid off recently. I don't know if you've seen the news, the whole DEI program pretty much eliminated. That's several thousand people that don't have a way to provide for their families anymore. Put food on the table, pay the bills, lights on, kids in school, kids in college, whatever have you, right? Wherever their scenario is, my heart goes out to all of them, but also everybody else who, no fault of their own, got laid off, got fired, it got let go due to political reasons, and I'm not talking government level, right?
Right.
Right? Whatever the reason is. Now they're sitting at home. Maybe it's 2 a.m. Maybe your listener is just now waking up because they fell asleep at 4 o'clock in the morning, stressed out, anxiety through the roof, wondering how they're going to provide, so on, right? And they have 10 years of experience like I have, 16, 15, 20, 25, whatever it happens to be, right? And they're not old enough to retire. They still got some gas in the tank, right, Alan? They still got a little fire in their belly to, hey, this is not my last curtain call. I still have something I want to do in life, and maybe it was that idea from 5 years ago, that like, oh, I really wish this product was in the marketplace, man. I could really use that. Or, man, there's no one around in my community that does X service. I would pay $1,000 extra if someone could just do this, right, or whatever, right? And that was me. I was let go a couple of times, actually, fired a couple of times, actually, politics, right? Things that I didn't see a reasoning for at the time, right? We never see the real reason behind it because of management level, wherever have you. But the reason typically comes out later on, whether you're a person of faith or not. I am. That's how I'm comfortable in what I'm doing. But there is a larger reason to why that happened to you. And like I referenced, maybe it was that service or that product that you wish was in the marketplace. Make life easier. Oh, man, I really wish XYZ was here. I'd really like to do it. Maybe the reason that you got let go, fired, or whatever have you was because your calling in life is to make that service, to make that product, right? To fill that gap in society that you wish was there, that you see a marketplace, a niche, or whatever in, and you're that person, right? And I got to tell you, that's probably how a lot of businesses started. Coincidentally, let me see. I'm blanking on the word here, Alan, but one of your listeners will come up with it. But it's being in the right place, the right time, right circumstance that the pieces, whether or not you intended, fell in place, right? You got this. You were fired. It sucks. Don't get me wrong. I remember being fired. It sucked. I have 3 kids, like I mentioned, house, mortgage. That I don't think I slept for the first week till about 4 a.m. when I got let go. Right. I just didn't. Body finally passed out at 4, woke up at 6, got the kids ready for school, came back home, didn't know what to do. I padded the resume, sent it out to all the job boards, LinkedIn, Indeed. Yeah, you get the idea. Maybe some of your listeners are like, "Yep, did that. Did that a lot." Even hired a resume professional to comb over the resume to get it pristine. Didn't work. Nothing worked. I couldn't tell. I had 3 interviews in 9 months, but no idea, right? So it's that moment where you're saying, okay, I've done all the right things. I've kicked out my resume to all the right places. I've called contacts, everything, right? And I don't need to tell you, Alan, the workplace market sucks. The job market sucks right now, right? If you are of the DEI skill set, you probably don't have a job. However, that does not, and I'm going to emphasize this, I'm going to lean in the camera a little bit here, Alan. I want your listeners to pay real close attention. If you're driving, guys, you pay attention to the road. If you're doing something important, heavy machinery, whatever, focus. Just because you were fired or let go does not make you invaluable. Does not make you invaluable. Say it with me. I am not invaluable.
I am not invaluable.
I am not invaluable. In fact, I am so priceless, they couldn't keep me on. And the reason you're priceless is because, much like me and some other circles and individuals I run with, they have embraced the purpose of their life to the point they are unhireable. There's not a company out there that can afford to bring them on into their company environment at the point that they're in life now, because they have embraced their purpose that they are here for. And that started with them being fired or let go, right? It is that moment at 4 a.m, Mr. Listener, Mrs. Listener, driving your car, eating your breakfast, second, third, fourth cup of coffee. Maybe you're taking a walk around the park just to get some air, whatever, that it has come to your attention that you don't need them anymore, that they needed you more than you needed them. They just haven't realized it yet. And when you finally come to the conscious decision that you are worth more than that company, your future will open up way wider than you ever thought. Okay?
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
It is what it is. But no man's an island. All right? I remember, right? You get fired, you feel like you're on your own. You've been kicked off the boat, the lifeboat, Titanic is sinking. You jumped on the lifeboat as best as you could. Now you're kicked off and you're floating in the water by yourself, right? Like, I get it. I get it. I remember those feelings. No man is an island. So what do you do when you feel like nothing's working, but you still have all the skills, the knowledge, the know-how, the experience, the connections, and so on? You take everything you have, you take your proverbial tool belt of life and say, how can I make money with what I got? How can I provide for my family, my loved ones, my kids, food on the table, lights on with what I have? I am on my own, but I am not alone. Okay?
Not on my own, but I'm not alone. I love
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. I am on my own, but I'm not alone. And there's a difference. Okay. Even if you're a listener, hey, if you're single, not married, no kids, if you're running solo in life, wild stallion, Mustang bucking it, right? Like God bless you. It's been a while since I've lived those days, but you are not alone. Now, me as a faith man, I am never alone. God is always with me, and respect to your listeners, but that's how I believe and how I live, and I'm never alone. David, when he faced Goliath, he was never alone. Moses was never alone. The list of other people, Abraham, you can go on and on, right? If you are not of the faith minded, again, you're not alone. You just need to reach out to the right people. And that is what I do and provide, is being able to sit down with people that went through much similar circumstances as I did and say, hey, Andy, I just got fired after 16 years. I'm running solo in life, but I got rent to pay. I got a car loan to pay. Or Andy, I got some kids. I got one kid who's graduating high school, going into college, whatever your circumstance might be. But I provide the guidance, the counseling that says, Andy, I don't want to go back to my 9 to 5. Like, it's the first real time in my life I can actually do what I want to do without asking permission, right? Without having to say, hey, I'm going to lunch. Hey guys, I'm in a meeting. Hey, I gotta close my office door. No one comes in. Hey guys, where's that TPS report?
I know that.
All right. Did anyone get that fax? Hey, Johnny, did you get the fax? I need that TPS report by the end of the day. Remember, guys, Hawaiian shirt, whatever, right?
Well, Andy, not to cut you off, my friend, because this is an amazing conversation, and
Right.
normally I normally just go off in my direction with various different copies, but I myself have made that pivot of not kind of stepping and overstepping. And for those listeners, we are gonna probably have if I don't know if Jose's still around, but he'll be up in just a minute. But I wanted to ask, how do they get a hold of you? Because you have told an amazing story and you're genuine, and that's what makes it usually. We have guests who have various different backgrounds and
Sure.
expertise, but you told the story that probably touched a lot of lives and everything. So, how does someone get a hold of you? And how do they move forward with the incredible luxury, aqua luxury consulting and the legendary Andy?
Yeah. Hey. No. Great question. So I'll go ahead and I'm gonna go out on a limb. This year I've embraced more of being faith based and fear based. Right. So I'm gonna give everyone my phone number. You can call me directly. It goes to actually the phone that I'm looking at right now. It goes to that one. So it's 949-272-6327. So 949-272-6327. Goes to me directly. There is no VA. There's no one. It's straight to me. Or you can email me at Aqua Luxury Consulting, just like it sounds. Aqua, AQUA, Luxury, LUXURY, right? Consulting at gmail.com. There is an upcoming website. So if anyone does email me, we get in touch. I will give you everybody a grand opening of the website when that comes to pass. And there will be a different email at that time. But Aqualuxury Consulting at gmail.com. You can also find me on a great platform called Alignable, which Alan, I believe I met you on. And there is a place in there that you can book an appointment with me on my calendar. I'm West Coast time here in sunny Southern California. My calendar is open to anyone who wants to sit down and just chat and talk. It doesn't cost you anything. There is no consulting fee here, but we can see what we can do for you. And I'd be honored to share my life and share my time with anyone that wants that type of help.
Well, every once in a while, my mind is blown, and yes, it is blown again today. It has been an incredible time with you here, Andy, and thank you for the stopping by with the Massive Connections, also Disability Channel. Got a shout out to the PSN ombudsman of Jay Storian and Disability Channel, and Emily Gomer and Kurt Roscoff, who's so luxurious, luxuriously allowed me to be a part of this Massive Connection. It's not about me, it's about we. And you, sir, have just really left us something to think about. So, ladies and gentlemen, those who are listening out there who are psychologically unemployable or whatever you want to say it, please reach out to Andy. He's definitely here, and thank you so much. And now let's see if we can look around and see if Kurt or Emily is somewhere in the horizon with our next guest, Jose. You can more than willing to stick around, Andy, if you want, if you got to go. But
No.
there's Jose. See, we say the legendary Jose, he just appears out of nowhere. Oh my goodness! I hope you've been listening, Jose.
Yeah.
It has been incredible. So let's just jump right in because of the time here. Jose, welcome to the Massive Connections. Meet Miss Andy. That's what we do, ladies and gentlemen. The Massive Connection. We do instant connections. But Jose, you yourself have family. You've been listening to Andy, or you're hearing. Tell us a little bit about your story. With I'm so honored that you're here. I know that you work with stem cell, which is something is so many dear to so many hearts, and your grandchildren. And you tell yours. Let me go and let you have this is about you right now. Tell your story. How did you get started with this stem cell research company that you're with? And tell us a little personal story, who you are. Welcome to the Massive Connection Show.
Okay. Good morning, Alan. Good morning, Emily. Thanks for having me on your show. Great job, Andy. As you said, I am not invaluable, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks God for a beautiful day. Okay. I am Jose Evangelista. I'm an independent business partner with StemTech. StemTech is the gold standard of stem cell health and wellness nutrition. Okay, I'm just new in social media or any podcast, so this will be my first. Okay, I'll tell you about my story with StemTech. Okay, I worked as a heavy equipment mechanic before, and it was hard on my back. When I shifted as a casino dealer, I thought it would be a lighter job. As a dealer, standing the whole shift and position hands over the tables, it aggravated my lower back. X-ray and MRIs showed degenerative issues in my lower spine and neck, causing numbness in my legs, my arms, my shoulders, and I've got limited neck movement. I took medication, physio, massage, chiro, but it was temporary relief. My health was deteriorating. I, I have to find some way to alleviate all these pains. The turning point was when I couldn't carry my 4-year-old grandson. I wanted to enjoy being with my family, especially my three growing grandkids. That's when I remembered a friend of mine telling me about his major car accident that left him in terrible shape. He took the RCM, and the doctors were amazed at his fast recovery. That's when I said, okay, I'll try it. After 3 months of taking the RCM, I went back to my chiropractor, and he said that my muscles were getting loose and that I could move more freely and with less discomfort. I had even more stamina and energy than before. The STEM tech, it has improved my health. My wife stopped using her insulin because she's been taking it for so many years, and now her sugar level is in like normal, right? So I knew that it could help others with their health as well. Now I have a moral obligation to let people know about RCM, and I do it through my story. As I recalled, my parents sold their house because of family health issues. My dad stopped working to take care of my mom, and other family members have health issues as well. So health is wealth. So now I'm taking care of my family to the best of health with RCM supplement. I'm excited about my future in creating residual income working with StemTech. I'll be able to retire from the casino and fulfill my passion of helping people improve their health physically, financially, and spiritually. Most of all, I'll be able to enjoy quality time with my family and giving praise and glory to God for all the abundant blessings He has bestowed upon us. And yeah, so you could reach me. My name is Jose Evangelista. My telephone number is 905-371-4704. But if I could tell you one more story, okay, why I am very passionate about doing this work. My dad was a hard worker. My mom was a homemaker. They took good care of us. They were great parents that taught us about our faith. That is what I want to pass on to my kids and grandkids and to be a close family. When I was small, I remembered our parents selling our house because of family health issues. I thought and promised to myself I will buy them a house. I was able to fulfill this goal through perseverance and hard work. I have great ambitions. I enrolled in a high school and a trade school to start earning for the family. I got my degree while doing my apprenticeship in the day and studying at night. I did field work as a heavy equipment mechanic in the Philippines, Angola, Mozambique, Africa, and Indonesia, where I saw the hardships of the people. I said to myself, I would like to give back in some way. My contract paid 10 times what I was earning in the Philippines, so my parents were able to buy their house. In 1989, I was sponsored to work in Canada. But after 2 years, I got laid off because of recession. We had 4 kids then. Times were tough. I tried businesses, networking, doing odd jobs, worked part time in the hospital, and selling insurance. I trained as a casino dealer and eventually was hired by Casino Niagara as an opening team. I passed two licenses for insurance, but I cannot continue as I was employed full time. I chose the casino because it has full benefit for my growing family of five. I chose the midnight shift so I could have weekends off to spend quality time with them. I devoted my time to work in the casino, volunteering in the church, and in the schools. We try to help the schools develop the students' full potential physically, academically, mentally, and most of all, spiritually. We go during their lunchtime to help increase the spirituality of the students. My first project, I bought a house for a family, and everyone enjoys living there. God works in mysterious ways and prepared me for the right timing. These adversities and challenges were blessings. I mentioned in the beginning, my parents sold our house. I started up working to take care of my mom, and other family members have health issues as well. I know the heavy impact that these challenges has caused physically, emotionally, and financially to a family. So now I'm pursuing my career of helping people improve their health and well being and better quality of life, not just for you, but your family as well. Now I would like to make my life more meaningful and worthwhile with my new career. Thank you very much for listening. Okay.
Well, Jose, my goodness, between you and Andy, you have made one of this most memorable mastery of connections. Not to take away from our other guests, we love you, we honor you, we thank you for it. But every once in a while, there comes a moment, and I'm going to remember this moment. February 26, 2025. The legendary Jose, for you to have be a first guest, I applaud you, sir. You did actually. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you, Andy, for being here. Two separate stories, but equal about why we put the Massive Connections together. And I could not have ended it on a better note with the legendary Kurt Roscoff and Emily Gomer, who usually when I say their name a couple of times, they pop up somewhere. So I'll just keep talking or interviewing Jose or Andy until they pop up. But thank you for the Disability Channel for allowing me to, as Massive Connections, to host this every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 o'clock Eastern. It's so invaluable, and I really appreciate it. Kurt, Emily, are you out there so much? I know there's another amazing guest show that's going to be coming on very soon. I know they're popping up somewhere. Ladies and gentlemen, if we can say it together, Emily, Kurt. See that? Hey, man, I get them double trouble. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before as we close down, because we have an incomparable gentleman coming up, but I'm not going to spoil the set. I wanted to say, Andy, thank you for changing the world consulting with Aqua Luxury Consulting, Jose, way across the others. Sends, thank you for being there. Mr. Kurt Roscoff, bring it home, sir. Or answer any question. I don't know. I'm overwhelmed right now. Go ahead, Mr.
There we go. Well, I think we'll just suffice it to say that this is the power of mastery of connections to get a few people talking and create a dynamic show, have different, twists and turns. I was on a networking call earlier where, our friend was talking about, Venn diagrams. He didn't think of the name right away, but he's like, oh, I'm thinking of a circle. He's like, everyone has an intersection. Everybody has that connection point that we can build from and move forward. So I think that's what we did here today, and it's part of the Mastery of Connections dynamic and why we celebrate this show in the midst of 15 show schedule that we have week by week. So we're packing it in here, and so within the last half of an hour, we sure packed it in here with a ton of value. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Jose, for coming in here. Thank you, Alan, for hosting all of this. And now I'll turn it over to our illustrious Emily Gomer for her OMG EMG wrap up. What do you got, Emily? Maybe she's not available. Oh, there she is. Emily, it's time for wrap up. I think we're heading on out of here.
So, thank you, everybody. I'd like to thank Andy and Jose for coming on. And you guys are welcome back anytime. Also, everybody check out all of our social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and so on. And to check out the other partners that we're working with, like JSTOR and the Disability Channel. Sorry to Transform You. Zach Clayton of the Pack Channel, Lawrence Wingate Studios, and Earl Williams of the Midwest Plains and Podcast. And all the great work that they're doing. But until next time, hope everybody has a safe and productive week.